Welcome to Two Shallow Divers, your friendly scuba show. I'm Sean McCready.
And I'm Molly McCready. And just like a boat dive, let's jump right in. We wanted to start by sharing why we're starting this new podcast about scuba diving. We're relatively new to diving and are now finding ways to incorporate diving into every vacation we can.
So Molly and I both have our own podcasts, so starting a podcast was a no-brainer. But my podcast is the Philanthropy Podcast, which is about best practices in fundraising, so that's a little more work-related for me.
And my podcast is the Nonprofit Optimist, and it's all about small nonprofits, so very much related to my work as well.
So the idea of doing a podcast about something that isn't work-related, but that we still love, is definitely something that we were both excited about.
Yeah. So we've now dived over 50...
Probably close to 60 times.
Yeah, probably. And in 5 countries. And so we're really excited to be sharing some of our adventures with you and to keep exploring more.
Yeah, so we have a couple different types of episodes that we hope to share. The first of which is going to be our dive reports, which are basically going to be exactly what it sounds like. Summaries of the dives we take and what we see and what kind of conditions there were and what someone else visiting that site might be able to expect. And what are the kind of things you can enjoy both in the water and on the land.
Another episode we're going to have is upcoming trips, and this is kind of the reverse of the dive report. So we'd like to know from you, if you've been to this place, what recommendations you have for us. Where should we go? What dive shops should we work with? What sites do we need to see underwater and above water?
Yep, and the third episode type are going to be our Dive Buddy episodes, which will be conversations with divers that we know personally, some of whom we've encouraged to get into diving themselves, divers that we've met in our journeys, and some of the friends of the scuba world who are just the celebrities of the world, if you will, and some of the better known personalities in the field.
Another type of episode we hope to have is Shop Talk, where we'll be talking with different dive shops, talking with them about what kind of dives they offer, giving more of a behind-the-scenes look to the diving experience.
In addition to that, we might do some gear reviews where we preview some of the equipment that we use and we've liked and share with you some of the dive equipment that just makes all of our lives a little bit easier or maybe a little bit more enjoyable.
And then the final episode type is Dive Masters, and this is our opportunity to talk to experts in the field. So some of these people actually will be dive masters in the sense that those of you listening to this who do scuba diving understand, but some of them will be experts in other ways, and we're just excited to be able to dive a little deeper with them and get to understand the underwater world a little bit better, understand scuba diving better, and hopefully it will be a fun informational opportunity for you too.
Yeah, I'm really excited about learning so much more from people who know so much more than us.
Absolutely. And hearing from like professionals who work in different fields that require scuba diving skills. I think that there's a lot to be gained there.
Yeah, definitely. So we plan to release monthly at a minimum. So that's going to be the schedule we try to keep ourselves to. But we both really love scuba diving and so far have loved planning and putting together this podcast. And we know that there's always going to be challenging and busy times of life, but hopefully we get a few more out for you. But we're going to make the commitment of at least one a month.
So for those of you that would like to get in touch with us or follow us on social media, we are on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Two Shallow Divers. That's the number 2, and then shallow, SHALLOW, divers, DIVERS. And we also have set up an email account at twoshallowdivers@gmail.com. So feel free to get in touch with us on any of those channels. And we also have a YouTube channel. Again, it's Two Shallow Divers, and that's the number 2, and we will be putting content up for you there as well.
With that, we're almost out of air, but thank you for buddying up with Two Shallow Divers today.
Until next time, enjoy your dive adventures, and we'll be back soon. But don't hold your breath.